Now that spring is here, are you ready to go down to the Occupy Wall Street protests?
No. I am rather busy removing my personal information from the Google. Masturbating to Asian she-males is not a crime, but I don't want advertisers sending me pop-ups on the Facebook for it. It was a one-time thing. Also, after watching an episode of Hoarders, I need to dump out all my PJs. I realize now, rather late in life, that it is not normal behavior.
We need to get out there and take back the streets. Establish people's libraries, educate others on our rights, and use the people's mic to bring the voice of the 99% to the 1%.
I guess an Occupy Wall Street library is the same as the one in your hometown, a place filled with homeless crazies, tended to by Anglo college graduates, and filled with books that belong in the trash because collectors cut out the images, Grandma scribbled in the margins, and Little Billy puked in the book as a page holder. When was the last time you were to your local library?
That's not the point.
Oh no, we need to have the crusties or the punks set a few cookbooks covered in ass juice out on the street under a plastic tarp and then yell state violence when they are tossed into a city sanitation truck.
We need to educate the people. We need to vote for a leader who supports education.
You mean a vote for Obama? The same administration that took the turd sandwich that was No Child Left Behind, refried it with sour milk, made an enema of that liquid, and then sprayed the mess all over a hot plate to create the Race to the Top fund.
We need to take to the streets to educate the people.
Take to the streets of the people who think that evolution does not exist. Take to the streets of citizens too stupid to pass the same citizenship test they demand of Mexican day laborers and Haitian refugees. Take to the streets of SUV driving America? Are we going to occupy their street, those streets? Or take to the streets I need in my major city in order to get to work on my bike and not have to wait 3 hours for the subway?
We need to be visible. The masses must be mobilized in order to change our society.
What in shit's name did you just say? If I can paraphrase the word spew that came from your food hole. I think you just said you want to change the system?
Yes. We need to take back the streets and occupy Wall Street.
How about voting for Ron Paul? He is the only anti-war presidential candidate. He would end the foreign wars which would save us billions. He would end the drug war saving billions. He would free non-violent drug offenders from our prisons saving billions. He would drop corporate subsidies of all kinds of products, including banks, and let capitalists see how capitalism will treat them.
He's a racist and a wacko.
How about a third party? A party that looks to our Constitution, the rule of law, and examines what it means to have a democratic government in an age of information technology and scarce natural resources?
The Tea Party are just a bunch of racist white men with guns. I don't like old white men.
How about reforming the unions so that membership is more fluid, and restructuring labor to have communities of practice and collective rights for everyone?
Unions protect the workers. We need to get the unions out on the streets. Like in the Great Depression video I saw on PBS.
How about tossing out Obamacare, and creating a system where we have national health care? If people want liposuction or a gender reassignment, they can have a bake sale, but the rest of us have basic health and medicine?
I am for Obama's reform of healthcare. MoveOn.org said single payer was not an option.
How about working in your community to prevent Race to the Top fund takeover of schools? A scheme that moves to privatize the system and not to reform it.
Our schools are failing. We need to save them.
Do you realize that we've been saying that schools are failing shit since I was a sperm in my father's nutsack?
My school was good. We need to reform the others.
What do you mean?
My school was good. My college friends' schools were good. But the schools in urban neighborhoods are failing. We need to save them through reforms such as Race to the Top.
So, you think the solution to urban issues is through an education measure that makes it easier for corporations to make money privatizing the system? A measure that uses minority children as lab rats? A fund that is slowly building a system that is going to put us farther behind other nations in education and innovation?
We need to bring the plight of the 99% to the streets. Show the 1% that they cannot control us. We need to show them that we can win confrontations with local police.
Because by fighting with a white shirt cop over a barricade, will impact the National Defense Authorization Act, H.R. 347, re-establish the Glass-Steagall Act, drop Citizens United, prevent surveillance by drones in U.S. cities, and stop the war on terror from turning upon American citizens?
Occupy Wall Street must retake the parks. We must set up tents and kitchens and libraries and establish field hospitals and spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on decision making.
You know what? I think my time spent jerking off to the entire catalog of urban archaeology is time better spent. The Occupy Wall Street action of last autumn was historic. This was the first positive step in re-establishing democracy we have taken in a long time. The Occupy Wall Street brought the conversation about economic inequality and corporate corruption of politics into the mainstream. This is a good thing. However, we can't just keep doing the same tactics. People need to switch things up now. Move in another direction in order to challenge the system, not form committees and choose leaders. We have leaders already. And they suck balls.
Yes. We need to take to the streets.
Again, my streets? The streets I use to bike to work? How about you take the streets of people who don't understand, and do it in a way that does not make them want to smack the shit out of you?
We need to face the violence inherent in the system.
You want to be the poster girl of cracked heads? Rachel Corrie getting run over by a bulldozer didn't change Israeli apartheid? The Kent State kids didn't end the Vietnam War. Your being knocked about by cops may allow you to sue the city, get on YouTube, perhaps even Tosh.0 if your underwear gets up over your head, but this ass-kicking won't change hearts and minds of the American people.
So what should I do for Occupy Wall Street? Do I do my interpretive dance with yams?
No.
Should I bring my dorm furniture into a Bank of America lobby?
No.
How about marching on Washington, D.C. with the bread and puppets people? I have one of those American flags with all the corporate logos on it that I haven't used yet.
1. Puppets suck. 2. Washington, D.C. The D.C. stands for don't fucking care. 3. You're an asshole. How about this? How about everyone you know make a 1-minute YouTube video about 3 topics that are important to you and give 3 real-world solutions? How about some hacker creating an app that would allow consumers to scan a barcode and see if the product is from Monsanto or supports a totalitarian regime? How about a boycott of Chinese goods? Try not to buy Chinese made for a day and see what happens. How about renting a convention center and having a convention of new political ideas that includes Tea Party to Communist Party members? How about getting the fuck out of the places I work and play, and into the face of America, in a way that actually makes a difference? Stay strong, Occupy Wall Street, forget the parks, see you online and in the suburbs.